Hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. This morning, we give you a piece of breaking news. Loose women blasted Meghan and Harry's biography as PR disaster. Appearing on Loose Women today, the presenter, Janet Street Porter, discussed the bombshell biography released by British journalists Owen Scobie and Carolyn Duran yesterday, with fellow panelists Brenda Edwards and Stacey Solomon, claiming that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's departure from royal life had backfired for the couple. The commentator claimed that the couple should have distanced themselves from it. An author's note in Finding Freedom appears to acknowledge that the writers worked with the couple. They said, "We have spoken with close friends of Harry and Meghan, and, when appropriate, the couple themselves." And Miss Janet said, "I felt the tone of the book was very disgusting. Harry and Meghan, if they did cooperate with the book, I think it's a bit of a PR disaster for them," she added. "I don't see it as really enhancing their status as a couple to be taken seriously if they want a new life on the world stage, making important announcements." Meanwhile, Brenda Edwards, who admitted she had only read the serialization of the book in the press and had no interest in reading the whole work, also said she felt Finding Freedom is indeed a PR disaster. She said, "Actually, it is a joke, and an insult to most people's intelligence. This statement alone doesn't need any interpretation because speaking, when appropriate, to the couple themselves basically means speaking to the couple as and when the writers choose to meet with them, which was always going to be when appropriate, because they, Harry and Meghan, were in on the game. It is a matter of semantics, and there's fooled nobody. It is a PR disaster for them," she said with a shrug. However, Charlene White argued that Harry and Meghan are a hypocritical couple, she says. "I think Janet could be right there. Most people see them as a pair of scoundrels and hypocrites, telling people to mind their carbon footprint, while they frequently take private planes and drive huge SUVs. He turned from an army man that everyone loved into a whining sissy that is feeling sorry for himself and that is now a lapdog." And Brenda Edwards joined Charlene and slammed the couple. They said, "We all agree with Janet. One PR disaster after another. A few months ago, they heralded and wrote a book as putting the record straight, if I recall correctly. They have since tried to distance themselves from the authors as the early criticisms arose. The public is not fooled. Harry and Meghan have made yet another huge PR mess." Speaking from home via a video link, Stacey Solomon agreed and said she did not think the striking revelations found in Finding Freedom were from the horse's mouth. She said, "This is their biography. Every little lurid fantasy of the grave injustices they suffered at the hands of the horrible British public who funded their wedding, security, numerous holidays, mansions coming from them. What amazes me is that they really seem to believe that people do not know it or them. Let's face it, they tried to sue an unknown drone operator, yet they have take no action against the two people who are promoting this fantasy." Miss Janet comes back and adds, "They actually are worthless. They have nothing to offer, do nothing that makes any form of positive contribution, and are just two sleazy people selling lies and gossip to try and make themselves feel important. They use and abuse everyone they come into contact with, have no care or consideration for others, and generally cause division and bad feeling everywhere they go. They get more unpopular as the days goes by. Two scheming individuals who think they can change the world through preaching but aren't prepared to put any effort into actually doing anything." Meanwhile, Brenda Edwards thinks that Meghan is delusional. She says, "If Meg really revealed for Scobie, we see the delusion she suffers under as to her greatness and perfection. A fantasy book belonging in the fiction category, it also exposes a madness of narcissism and serious mental illness which should worry about anyone she is acquainted with. Unless she gets some hardcore therapy, she is moving towards needing to be sectioned." Stacey Solomon interrupted, "They can't distance themselves from it. They wrote it. Scobie just penned their words. Obvious as the nose on your face. There's so much private, intimate stuff in it that no one else could know. Also, Meghan Markle was throwing her U's at the peon trying to get it released before other books came out. She wanted her story and her truth told to put the record straight. They thought we would all go to Oh Poor Them, and we would all come on their side. They misread totally the feelings we have for them. They are the most disliked couple I have ever known. And Miss Janet Street Porter concluded, "There's no coming back from this. Too many lies. The pregnancy and birth shrouded in mysterious nonsense for starters. Now this ridiculous but nasty book. People don't appreciate being lied to, especially by people they are paying for. Harry's descent is complete. The British people would never welcome this turncoat back. Meg's has blown any chance of ever entering Buckingham House ever again. A PR disaster. Everything these pair have done since the hitch-up has been a monumental disaster, and Harry has let it happen. It's called under the thumb." Meanwhile, in other news, as I said in the previous video, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are blowing £8 million on a Santa Barbara mansion when they still owe the British taxpayers £2.4 million for Frogmore Cottage. And royal insiders say Prince Charles provided funding for new family home among Hollywood's Wackerati. And there were questions asked about the expense after the pair had agreed to pay £18,000 a month to repay $2.4 million used to refurbish and renovate their previous Frogmore Cottage residence. Royal expert Ingrid Seward told Mail Online she understood why people were asking about the price spent on the new home. She said, "I think people at this moment of time when Meghan and Harry do anything to do with money, it isn't going to be looked at very favorably. People will not like what they do when it involves a lot of money." She continues, "Who decided on the $18,000 a month? I don't recall anyone asking the taxpayers if this was okay with us. Fed up with a lot of them treating us with contempt. They are kept in the lap of luxury thanks to the taxpayers, who have never asked or been asked if they want their taxes going to this unelected and undeserving bunch. But when it comes to paying our money back, it is decided that it will be $18,000 a month. He has $20 million. He didn't get the money in 18,000 drips per month, so why should we have to put up with this?" Meanwhile, Prince Charles was slammed by Phil Dampiers. He said, "Shame on you, Charles, for continuing to condone their petulant, insulting behavior to the Queen yourself and other royal family members by your financial support. Harry doesn't hold any respect for you whatsoever because you are a pushover. He has you and the family over a barrel with his trump card called Archie. You were not strong enough to be the future king of the Commonwealth. Please hand the reins to William ASAP." Meanwhile, Miss Ingrid Seward also wants to blame Prince Charles. She says, "Dear Prince Charles, this is a slap in the face to all those struggling to make ends meet and those who have lost jobs and their homes due to COVID. To see a petulant son of yours slagging us all off, including you, is nauseating in itself. But it is also galling to watch Harry and his awful wife being given everything, no matter how ungrateful they may seem. You need to wake up to public opinion, because in these impossibly difficult times in Britain, we are not taking this lying down." And many fans also slammed Harry. Meghan and Charles, a fan wrote, "The royal family, in particular, Charles needs to think very carefully about providing these two with any more money. Where does Charles' income derive from? You're treading on the dangerous ground, Your Royal Highness. The good people of this country are deeply unhappy with your youngest son and his wife. Take great care, sir." A fan replied, "Can they really not see how hypocritical they are being, constantly lecturing others on how people should live their lives, while they get Dad to pay for their new house and their luxurious lives? The man who's supposed to take over the monarchy in the near future is rewarding his son for negatively impacting the institution's image? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Except if he and the greedy duo are actually on the same side, in which case, he has a lot to answer for. Why should anyone listen to these two adult babies?" Another added, "These two are pathetic. They want an A-list lifestyle when they are nothing but Z-listers. How disgusting to have Charles pay for their home so they can swan about with millionaire celebrity neighbors, but give nothing at all in return to the royal family. Disgraceful behavior, and I'll be glad when they disappear into oblivion. And the last one wrote, Prince Harry inherited millions from his mother and grandmother, not to mention all the other freebies he and Meghan have got off people. Why can't he pay for his own house? He is nothing more than a Brooklyn Beckham, and his wife was and still is a D-list cheap celebrity. What a pathetic rinser Harry is. And you, what do you think about them? Please let me know in the comment section below and we'll discuss them together. If you feel so comfortable with my channel, remember to subscribe to the Sussex Daily News to not miss any new video by our team. And don't forget to like and share my video for anyone you think also loved it. Now, have a nice day and see you in the next videos.